So it's not that there was a Wall Street Journal article on her claiming that she was a fraud. It wasn't even
Hmm.
that. It was clearly a case of mistaken identity, but it was such a high level placement that the company did not want any blowback from their board of
Okay.
directors,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they didn't want to deal with any potential, scandal. And they
Okay.
just said, you know what, screw this, I'm not dealing with this.
Mm.
And they just decided to walk away.
Okay.
And and then, in true Hollywood fashion, the recruiter said, "Hey, listen, why don't you contact R Square Media? Because I know
Oh.
that this company focuses on exactly this situation."
Laughter dances with truth in mostly fictional tales, where reality and fantasy engage in a tango. Hello, Rad Rascals! We are thrilled to welcome back Rajiv Jadhav of R Square Media. If there's anyone who knows the ins and outs of online reputation repair, it's Rajiv. He works with clients with a lot on the line, helping them take back control of their digital narratives and to fix those blemished search results. Rajiv's insights are essential for anyone with a reputation to maintain. Let's jump right back in. You've got an example here. I'm betting here. You got a high net worth individual. They've come to you and they say, Rajiv, I have this specific thing. Let's get into brass tacks. Who are we talking about here? Where are they from? Where are they
Yeah, so these
national?
are yeah, these are CEOs of real estate companies or financial advisory companies, and these are the ones that have net worth of like millions or billions.
Okay.
So they're like, let's say, real estate moguls, real estate like commercial real estate developers. So these are people that are building the bridges and tunnels in New York City or San Francisco or
Mm-hmm.
like all of that. So those like massive billion and trillion dollar projects are the ones that these guys are working on.
And they're involved in things in which if they mess up, there are money people that are involved in these deals that are concerned that their mess up is going to mess up the big tunnel project they're working on or something like that because
Potentially,
because of a
because they don't.
disruption.
Yeah, like nobody wants their project delayed because the delay means it's going to cost a lot more money. And any kind of, and obviously people don't, the client, whether the client is a private, investor or the government or the whoever, they don't want their project delayed because they haven't factored the delay into their business plan. And the sooner the project is ready, the sooner their work can begin and the sooner they can recoup their investment, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it is in their best interest for the project not to be delayed, and that's why, and also for the high net worth individual or the millionaire or the billionaire, it's also in his best interest that nothing delays the project, because if that happens, it could jeopardize the next project from that same group. And the whole point of business is is recurring business, repeating business, and that's why they don't want that. So they don't want any interruptions, because interruptions means interruption in their cash flow, which is not good for them.
So we're kind of we painted all around the subject of the value of this of what you do to clean up people's reputation of various things. So we've talked about that it's usually a specific thing that they know about that they're giving you a target to go after.
Yes.
But and so the reason that people come to you, I think we've really well covered. But let's get some specific, some story worthy things here. Something that you were asked to go and find and get rid of.
Yeah. So,
Let's
for
let's tell the
example,
story. Let's tell the story.
sure. This is something that you can see on my YouTube channel. If you go to the YouTube channel of R Square Media,
There we go.
you'll see a video of this case study. It's very interesting because truth is stranger than fiction.
It is.
So I'll try to summarize the story as succinctly as I can. But basically, the Cliff Notes version is that a senior executive was walking into what she thought was her accepting the offer, high seven-figure offer. It was a C-suite placement and she thought she was walking into her dream job in a dream company, and she was been looking for work for like over a year. So this was finally the one that was going to, help her get back into the big leagues. And she hears the words that nobody ever wants to hear in their life if they're in an interview situation, which is the client is going in a different direction. And she was shocked to hear that because she was all set to accept the offer and sign the offer. And she was also picturing herself into
So
the corner room
they
office and all that.
so they already had in this particular situation given her an offer letter. She'd already said,
Yes.
"I will take this," and now they're yanking that out from underneath them. Because they're
Yes.
going into a different direction.
Yes.
All
And
right.
when she asked the executive recruiter as to why that was, the recruiter says, "Well, they think you're a criminal." And she
Whoa,
says, "Criminal?
really?
Me? Yeah, I've never spent a day in jail. Hell, I went to Yale, goddammit." So it's like they didn't think. She was absolutely shocked to hear this. But sure enough, she Googled herself,
Okay.
and what did she see? She saw right at the top of her Google search was someone that looked like her, had the
Oh,
same first name, they were both blonde,
oh,
and that person who's her doppelganger has a criminal background,
oh,
and the company thought that she has a criminal background because
oh.
they
Okay.
look the same, they were both blonde, etc. and
Okay.
and that kind
She
of
she didn't
killed the
have
deal.
she didn't have like a very common name like Mary Smith, right? Because that would amplify the opportunities for mistaken identity. So that's one
Yeah,
of the
it
reasons why somebody had something that is connected to you but isn't you.
correct. And it wasn't, so it's not that there was a Wall Street Journal article on her claiming that she was a fraud. It wasn't even
Mm-hmm.
that. It was clearly a case of mistaken identity, but it was such a high level placement that the company did not want any blowback from their board of
Okay.
directors,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they didn't want to deal with any potential, scandal. And they
Okay.
just said, you know what, screw this, I'm not dealing with this.
Mm.
And they just decided to walk away.
Okay.
And and then, in true Hollywood fashion, the recruiter said, "Hey, listen, why don't you contact R Square Media? Because I know
Oh.
that this company focuses on exactly this situation." And
Oh.
she called us up. We told her that we can absolutely help her. And to our surprise, we got that done a lot faster than we usually get it done. Our
Oh
typical
my.
turnaround
Okay.
time is 90 to 120 days, but we got it done in a week, which was
Okay.
way faster than we ever thought possible.
Oh.
Sometimes it happens.
So
And because,
sometimes the target is just really easy to hit.
yes, yes.
Oh,
So,
so this
and
particular person, what? So it's a case of mistaken identity, and
yes.
so in your line of that, what you're going to do? How do you attack this kind of thing? Because it's on your Google search results,
Yeah. So
and
we get
so
it
because you
deleted
can't go
from
to
the,
Google and say,
yes,
Google, you
that's what
need
we
to do
do.
this.
That's what we do.
So, but Google will actually like do something about the search result that you report?
Absolutely.
Huh.
Absolutely. Because we have access to Google that you don't. And that's why we can deliver outcomes that
Okay.
no one else can.
Okay. Well,
So,
that's going to be a trade secret. We're not going to put that into the show, into mostly fictional tales about how you can how you've got, but you know the process for takedowns.
that's right. That's right. So we essentially got that link deleted from Google so that the recruiter could go back to the company and say, "Hey, check the Google again. It's
Check it
gone."
again.
And
It got
sure
cleaned up
enough,
and it's
it was
fine.
gone. It was gone. And then he convinced them to renege
Re- on their
and
reneging.
on their reneging, and she was hired. So the story had a happy
Wow,
ending,
that does
but
have a
it
happy ending, and
but
she's
it would
probably
not.
not going to want that out, so we're not going to use her name.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, okay. So this is not something that, from the context of us telling the story, we're not going to be giving it away or anything like that. I'm
I
betting,
mean,
right?
not really, because you can see the video dramatization of this. It is a very interesting case study, which is on the R Square Media YouTube channel. There's actually,
We'll be stopping our interview right now to put it up on the screen and say, friends and family, hey, this is now just full disclosure here, Rajiv. The people that watch mostly fictional tales, I get the sense that their net worth is close to mine. So that's not saying that, hey, we're not going out for steak. Is what I'm saying here. Is the steak dinner is not part of the cards. You can have maybe Jack in the Box, but no steak. Not for you, buddy.
Well, we don't have Jack in the Box in New York. I'm in New York City. We don't have Jack in the Box here,
that's
unfortunately.
Right. You have White Castles.
Yeah, White Castle and McDonald's. Yeah, that's right.
The only thing I know about White Castle is getting thrown out, like the Beastie Boys.
That's
when we
right.
went to White Castle, we got thrown out.
That's right. Yeah, and Chick-fil-A every now and then. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Have you ever been asked to remove or hide something that you thought was unethical to have hidden?
No, never. Because
okay.
if it was unethical, yes, if it was unethical, we would not do it.
Okay. But so you actually haven't even been asked to do anything like that?
Not yet. Not yet. And I will just preface by saying this, that I am a United Nations speaker and advisor. I speak on youth empowerment, solving homelessness, and women's empowerment. So integrity means the world to me. And I'm not going to take on something that's going to make me change my integrity just if somebody's going to pay me for it. So it's not.
You see, but it's, on the other side of that coin, there, Rajiv. We have discussed before. I am a whore. We're only haggling over price, and there's a price point to some of those things. It might not be a small price, but there's a price on some of this stuff
price.
that would get me to do that. However, it's got to be. It might be a price that just puts me out of the market for that kind of thing. But I can't put it out of the. Hey, I know the value of money. But sometimes people will do things when they are a little desperate, and
that's true. I mean, I'll tell you what our prices are just for context. Again, like I said, I'm an open book. Our prices start at 3,000 per removal, and by that I mean if there's one link on Google you want gone, the price starts at 3,000. It could be more than 3,000 depending on the various criteria that we have, which is recency, quantity, source, and topic. Recency means that if it's a 2024 story you want gone, it's going to be a lot more expensive to get removed than if it was a 2001 story, because 2024 is now, 2001 is history, ancient history. Okay. So recency makes it more expensive, higher effort, more
harder
complexity.
To get removed if it's recent.
Exactly. Then the next is source. Source means if it's on Joe Schmo's blog, it's just standard pricing, as opposed to if it's on the FBI website, or if it's on the SEC website, or if it's on the Washington Post website, Wall Street Journal website, New York Times website, et cetera, right?
Okay.
So the source matters as well. So if it's, for example, if it's on the FBI website, the price to get it gone, it's going to be like 25,000.
Yeah.
If it's on New York Times website, it's going to be like 7,000.
But
if
it's on the FBI's website, it's going to be one more of those things where, this was mistaken identity, but it's going to cost us a lot more because we're going to have to file a lot more paperwork to get the FBI to agree that it's mistaken identity and to take it down, because they're not going to care about if Rajiv sends them a takedown notice. They're going to go, we're the FBI. You gotta do something a little better than a takedown notice, buddy.
Yeah. So basically, for cases like that, the ammunition that we advise clients on is if they have solid evidence that confirms their version of events.
You can use that to open the door and
exactly.
Say, how often have you had to go to the FBI to track something down like that?
Very often. So it's like, because as FBI might seem a little bit like, wow, FBI, it's like way out there because you see FBI in TV and movie. But in my world, where, this is the kind of world that I'm in, where I kind of cross paths with the FBI and various 3-letter agencies on the daily.
The TLAs.
DEA, SEC, ICE. Yeah.
My previous interview fella from on Mostly Fictional Tales, Troy Heiner. He was worked for a long time with the CIA and then most of his career with the NSA, and
Nice.
has some comedic thoughts on the three letter acronyms that are tossed about. But
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't worked with those agencies, but it's mostly with the FBI's, FBI, DEA, ICE, and yeah, those three mostly.
so does something stand out in your mind that you went? Your mission was going to the FBI to get something removed. What was that thing?
It was basically so the FBI publishes like links of cases that's either an ongoing case or a closed case.
Okay.
And basically this that was published, I think, was a closed case. And we basically told the FBI that this was actually the client was innocent and what they're publishing on the website was an old case that's already
And
been
since it's already closed, they probably
yeah.
they probably already know that. And hey, okay,
Exactly. They just needed to update the records by just removing it from their website, and
okay,
that's it.
okay. But once again, to get the agency to do this, and you might have to send some very specifically worded letters and legal jargon to make that happen. So it's not they're
Absolutely.
not going to do it for free. That kind of
Hell
thing.
no. Yeah,
Interesting.
nothing's for. There ain't no free lunches on this one. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what was free for Rajiv? Appearing on Mostly Fictional Tales. Well, he
There you
did.
go. Or was it? Or was it?
He did have to spend a little bit of time to chatter with this chatterbox here. So,
There you go. There you go, people. You
well,
heard it straight from the source.
well, friends, family, and others, out there in the land who have been watching the show here. This has been Mostly Fictional Tales. Rajiv Jadhav has been my guest. He is an assassin for your bad reputation. If you're a high net worth value individual and your business is gonna be impacted because of something dumb you did, and buddy, you know you did that dumb thing, and you know what? You just need it gone. Rajiv will do it. Rajiv can do it. You all have been watching Rajiv Jadhav on Mostly Fictional Tales. And, if you like what we do here on Mostly Fictional Tales, you can help out in a couple of very easy ways. You need to like, share, and subscribe. You hear it from all of the creators over and over again. And really, YouTube will value that little click that you make on that little bell icon or the like thumbs up on that. And I appreciate your support. If you're a real difference maker, head on over to Patreon. I need your support there. Keep the lights on and to keep the images coming. And with that, I have been your host, Rathgar, your captain, and this here, Rajiv Jadhav. Rajiv, give the audience a bit of a wave off here.
It was lovely to meet you all. Please tune into this channel, subscribe, post comments, like, share, all that stuff. You know what to do. It's a small like for you. It's totally free, but it means the world to Ratkar. So there you go. You heard it straight from me. You do it. Do
here,
it.
Right here.
And
It will make my frown turn upside down.
there you go. There you go.
Again, friends, I am your host, Rathgar, and I advise you be good. But if you can't be good, don't be caught.
And even if you're caught, don't worry about it. Just hire the assassin.
The assassin's
He's gonna
waiting
make
for you.
He's gonna make your problems go away like they never happened.
You know what? Your reputation is safe. That if you ignore the advice of your captain, remember, I'm not your boss. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just your captain here. But you be good.